This is the Protagonist Seat, a podcast where we strive for one thing.
Fine.
Fine. It's fine.
This episode will probably be fine.
It'll be fine.
The next episode after this will probably also be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I am Ian, and I gotta say, I'm fine.
I'm Alex, and I'm also fine.
Let's move on to some fine programming, shall we?
Fine anime.
Fine.
You know what's real fine? JoJo.
JoJo is real fine.
Risotto should have won.
Risotto should have won.
That was bullshit.
It was the most bullest of shit.
Metallica is a cooler stand than King Crimson.
Metallica is such a cooler stand than King Crimson. And
King
Risotto
Crimson has a fucking stupid face.
He's got a stupid face.
King Crimson always looks like it needs to take a shit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he does, but he would just erase that 10 seconds.
Takes
Everything
a shit in 10 seconds.
I mean, he's a strong man. Literally everything about Risotto is cooler than the boss. Yeah. Literally everything. And it makes me sad. Makes me a little bummed.
This whole episode is the fight between Doppio / the boss and Risotto. And the fact Risotto loses is stupid because he, in the first half of in the previous episode, he made Doppio puke up 2 fistfuls of razors.
He summoned a pretty decent chunk of needles that shot out of his face, which he does again in this episode at one point.
Yeah, and so the boss is trying to have Doppio use King Crimson to see into the future about what's going to happen, and Doppio sees scissors appear in his neck, which is apparently it's going to happen.
Yeah, apparently when he uses his foresight, that's it. You can't change that. Sorry, bud.
You're just going to have scissors in your throat, which that would be the worst. Just imagine knowing at some point in the next couple of seconds, scissors were going to be in your throat.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. And I think not knowing would be better.
Yeah. That one was a little hard to watch.
And scissors appeared in his throat, and he ripped them out of his own throat.
And then it's fine.
Yeah.
He's just a little bloody.
Yeah, he ripped open the inside and the outside of his throat, because the inside was probably torn up by all the razors he puked out, and the outside by the scissors, or him ripping out the scissors.
Yeah.
He should be fucked.
He
should be dead from blood loss.
Honestly, he should have been dead after razors and throat.
Yeah.
Like, this should not have been a fight, but it was a fight. And it was...
Like, just imagine puking razors.
We learned that Metallica uses the iron in people's blood to it pulls it and forms it into razors and scissors and needles and shit, and then he can pull that out. And
it's not just in people's blood. He can technically control any type of iron. He camouflages himself with iron powder.
He covers himself in iron powder, and then he's invisible, I guess.
Yeah, because that's how that works.
There was some bullshit about, like, he covers himself in iron powder and then makes that blend in with the surroundings. And it's like, I feel like you guys are skipping a step with that one, but that's fine.
Yeah, also, he needs a lot of iron powder. He needs enough to cover an entire grown man's body.
Like, the amount of iron you would need just to create as many... Like... Doppio should have been out of iron in his body with the first hurdle of razors coming out of his throat. That should have been it. He should have had no iron in his blood after that.
Yeah, because I'm imagining the amount of iron in a razor is probably...
It's probably real high.
Yeah, probably almost maybe more than the amount you have in your bloodstream.
Yeah. You do not have enough blood or iron in your blood in your body to do that. But you know what? It's a stand battle. Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, and Doppio starts getting good, and...
Doppio gets good.
Doppio gets good, and he actually turns some of the predictions against Risato, where he sees his foot fly off, or like a foot fly off, and he thinks it's his. But then he actually figures out Risato's ability and shoots the scissors right at him and cuts his foot off.
This doesn't affect him all that much.
Yeah, because he can just, I guess, connect the iron from his blood, the blood that's in his foot, to the blood that's in his leg.
He just turns it into staples, and then he's fine.
Yeah, he just staples his foot back on.
He staples it back on, and he's fine. It works. Doppio's, I'll call it precognition, works kind of like Oingo Boingo's, or Boingos, or Oingo, or whichever.
Yeah, you can see something that's about to happen. Yeah, it's Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, because like one of them messes up his face, and then the other one has that weird manga. But basically,
he can see the future. He just doesn't necessarily get all the pieces.
Yeah, the future is not necessarily what he would think.
It's like That's So Raven, where she can see the future sometimes, but she doesn't always have all the pieces.
That's true. That's a very timely reference.
My favorite anime, because it's the prequel anime to Cory in the House.
Cory in the House, top 10 anime betrayals of all time. But yeah, basically Doppio is like, haha, I am getting good now, but then he almost gets fucked up anyway.
And the boss, realizing they're getting fucked up, tells Doppio just to not do anything. And Risato starts to put all the pieces together and go, wait a second, this guy, I think this guy might be the fucking boss.
I think this guy shouting into a frog is not talking to anyone over any kind of phone.
He has multi-personality disorder.
Which is weird because Doppio literally grows in size.
Yeah.
It's a little strange.
We get a cool flashback, too, where it shows, like, the group La Squadra investigating stuff, too.
Yeah.
I like La Squadra.
Me too.
They were cool guys.
They were cool guys.
They were.
Especially Risato.
I really liked Risato and, I think his name's Prosciutto, the Grateful Dead stand user.
Yes. I believe that's Prosciutto.
Yeah.
They're all named after food.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell. Italian food.
I can only remember the names Prosciutto, Pesci.
Oh yeah, Pesci. The man who looks like a
Risato,
freaking banana.
And Formaggio.
That's cheese.
And I don't remember the name of the man in the mirror. His user.
It's not important.
And I don't remember White Album's guy's name.
His name is also not important.
Yeah.
He had too many names. He had a special move with a name on it.
Melone, the babyface guy.
Oh yeah. That was an uncomfortable.
Di morto.
That was a little bit of an uncomfortable episode.
But yeah, Risato keeps his cool the whole time, and he keeps himself
because the person who gets excited loses.
But then when he discovers, yes, this is actually the boss, he gets excited, and in that moment he's about to kill the boss. Little Bomber shoots the fuck out of him.
Yep, he reveals his position, and Little Bomber tracks him based on his breathing patterns. Because basically his plan was not to kill Doppio by shooting razor blades out of his throat, as any reasonable person would suspect. It's, I'm going to pull all the iron out of his blood, which means he won't be able to transport oxygen through his body, suffocating him. I'll just do it by shooting razor blades out of his throat.
But because he does this, that means Doppio's not breathing, and this was actually part of the boss's plan. Since Little Bomber tracks people based on breathing,
yep,
that means Risato was the only person popping up on Narancia's radar.
Yep, so Narancia guns him down from behind with Little Bomber.
Yep, so technically the boss did outplay Risato.
Technically.
Yeah.
And that's a hard technically.
Yeah.
If JoJo and the gang hadn't have been there that day, he would have been
he would have lost.
And you know what? I knew the boss was gonna live because...
Yeah, he's the main villain.
Yeah.
But the last member of La Squadra is gone.
The boys took him out kind of by accident. Because I don't even think they knew it was him.
Yeah, also, they didn't really know what was up there. They just knew a person was up there. How did they know it was an enemy?
It was because... I think they just assumed it because Doppio threw the scalpels off the cliff, which I guess he threw them so hard that they went far enough so that Bucciarati could catch them with sticky fingers.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like, we're under attack.
Okay, so the boss did outplay Risotto because he basically set up for them to take out Risotto.
It's still some circumstantial bullshit.
Metallica was better than King Crimson, and that is indisputable.
Literally indisputable. Moving on. No disputes.
No dispute. Moving on, The Rising of the Shield Hero. Sad Raftalia episode.
Sad Raftalia.
We gotta look into her past.
Because if you remember from last week, we left off with her sword at that dude's throat.
Yeah, and then one of those dumb things that always happened where if you kill him, or if I kill you, I'll be just like you.
Yeah.
No, he's a huge piece of shit that really should die.
He is a horrible person who has committed many atrocities.
In fact, you've seen him commit atrocities.
You could probably take him out now, and now Fumi would not even bat an eye.
In fact, you really should take him out. He's a horrible human being.
But
you are completely in the right for doing so.
But no, because we have the hero girl.
Yep, and instead it looks like he kills himself because he accidentally falls back out a window.
He lunges at her and she cross counter and pushes him back a little bit and he falls out the window. And basically for pretty much the rest of the episode, she's like, oh my god, I killed that guy. And she's very broken up about it.
And then they go to the dungeons to see if anyone's still alive down there. And they find one of her childhood friends is
a wolf boy.
Yeah, wolf boy. And they show a little bit of her backstory where after the wave came and their town was destroyed, Raftalia actually kind of rallied everyone together to rebuild it.
Yeah, let's fix our town. And then they do, and they have a great time, and nothing bad ever happens.
And then they're like, hey, the soldiers are here to help us.
And the soldiers come, and the soldiers help out, and nothing bad ever happens.
Yep, it's a perfect story. It ended, everyone worked together at the end.
And then this show never happened. We have rewritten S.H.I.E.L.D. hero history. Thank you very much.
Nope, they destroyed everything, and then they sold all the beast people as slaves, or the demi-humans as slaves, and Raftalia spent time in this dude's dungeon with her friend.
And he did some shit.
Yep,
he did some bad shit.
He didn't like Raftalia because she wouldn't cry or scream when he tortured her, but he liked torturing her friend. And then she got sick, and Raftalia got shipped out to go be sold to the slave merchant that we met from Naofumi's perspective. The good slave merchant.
Yeah, the good slave merchant.
Yeah. And as Raftalia is searching through the dungeon, she asks the wolf boy where the other friend was, and you can tell in his face it's not good.
It's not good. Yeah. I mean, I figured she would have kicked it sooner, it would have been revealed that she kicked it sooner, because soon as you start coughing in a dungeon, it's over, man.
Also, they went and found her, and she was a skeleton now.
Yeah.
And then part of me is wondering,
how long?
Also, Raftalia hasn't been an adult that long.
No.
So, she decayed real fast.
Cave mold. It was cave mold. 'Cause it is damp and warm in the dungeon.
I feel like the dungeon isn't warm. It's pretty cold there.
No, probably not. It actually, like, that probably would have preserved her a little bit longer.
Probably would be. I think they just made her a skeleton just because it'd be easier.
It's easier
than just being like, hey, here's like shriveled up corpse.
Yeah, here's a small mummified corpse with little fuzzy ears on it. That probably would not go over well.
Yeah, that'd be harder to watch.
Yeah, that would have had a lot more of an effect.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been stronger.
Just like, oh shit.
Oh man, this guy was a piece of shit.
Holy shit.
And then they go outside, and then turns out that guy didn't die.
Because of course he didn't.
Yeah, and he's all like, he's praying to this statue, and he breaks some sort of seal that the heroes of the past put on it, unleashing a giant dragon.
I found it a little funny, because he's like, release your holy justice to come destroy the devil of the shield. And then we get Good Lord Man shows up and he's like, oh shit, that's actually like a real bad seal. The last heroes sealed something real bad under there. And then it is a large T-Rex dragon thing, and it squishes him.
Immediately.
It literally immediately.
He dies a Fire Emblem bad guy death.
Yeah.
I summoned a dragon and it killed me.
Yes. Listen, if you're ever gonna summon anything, don't be in the same room. Don't be near it.
Also, don't be immediately just like, yes, I won, nothing's gonna happen to me.
Yeah, run the fuck away. Because he's even like, destroy the world, wipe everything off the face of the planet. And it's like, all right, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
We realize you probably have a bad concussion after falling out of that window, but this is some crazy shit. Also,
his men were like, oh shit, Lord, I forget his name.
It's not important anymore.
The Lord's dead. And they all just run away, most of the guards. No one wanted to check him.
Nope. Everyone was like, well, I guess that's it for him. Anyway, we got this riot going on outside. Also, if you're going to seal something away, maybe don't leave the power to unseal it in the hands of a lord. Maybe actually, just don't give any power to unseal it. Just never.
Chuck it in the ocean.
Do something else. Just seal it away from major towns.
Also, yeah, if you're going to seal something away that you don't want ever to be unsealed, why even have a method of unsealing it?
And why put a big-ass monument on it?
Maybe that was the part of the seal.
Yeah, you're probably right. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of the sads in this episode. We learn about Raphtalia's past and the reason that she really fucking hates this dude.
And then next week we fight a bad CG dragon.
A bad CG dragon. Again. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Again. Because there was the Draco Lich, and now we get this one, which is not dead. Not undead. Not dead.
Re-dead.
So, Demon Slayer was fucking great this week.
So good? Holy shit.
We had the training episode. And it's mostly narrated through Tanjiro writing in his journal to his sister.
I love this because it's not like, oh, and then I trained for like 2 months and I became super good. It's like, nah, I was at this first part for like a year and a half, and then I realized that I didn't actually learn jack shit. So now I gotta go at it for another like 6 to 8 months of intense training.
Also, I'm glad I wrote these down because he's not going to train me anymore, so now I have to like re-look over my notes to see how to retrain myself.
Yeah.
Basically, he does all the training he's supposed to do with the Tengu mask guy.
Tengu.
Yep, so he and Tengu do all the training, and he starts he starts having him do the run down the mountain again from the traps, and he has him do it until he can do it basically perfectly. Then he has him do it with a sword, and it becomes weird to him because the sword throws him off balance.
And he doesn't, well, at first he doesn't use the sword to do anything, but later on he starts.
And then the traps get more and more deadly.
I.e. knives shooting out of random places, pitfalls filled with jagged swords, etc., etc. But he manages to finally conquer it, and Tengu is like, all right, now it's time for the final test. Follow me. And he basically takes him to this big-ass rock in the woods.
Not even a rock. It's a boulder.
It's not a boulder.
It's
a rock. Pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. But he takes him to a boulder, and he's like, all right, cut the boulder in half. See you later, and fucks off.
And he spends 6 months just trying to cut this boulder in half.
It doesn't work. Unsurprisingly, he's like, I just gotta train harder, and then I can cut this rock, and it doesn't work.
And then one day he's getting pissed off, and he starts bashing his head against the rock.
That doesn't work either.
And a dude in a fox mask shows up.
And this dude shows up and starts berating the shit out of him.
He's like, if you're a man, you face your struggles in silence.
Yeah, be a man. Men don't cry at their problems. Men solve their problems. And it's like, dude, calm down.
And they start sparring with each other, where he's like, come at me. And he's like, but I have a real sword and you have a wooden sword.
This is met with raucous laughter.
Where he's like, oh, you actually think you can even hurt me?
I don't need a real sword.
And he kicks the shit out of him.
A lot. Basically, he kicks the shit out of him, and then Tanjiro wakes up, and there's a little girl, and she's like, don't worry.
She also has a mask, but instead of wearing it on her face, it's on the side of her head.
Yeah. I think her name is Momoka?
I think it's Momoka, and I think his name is Sabito.
Yes. Sabito is Fox Boy,
Yeah.
and Momoka is, I think, Cat. I think she's Neko Girl.
Yeah, I think she has a cat mask, and he has a fox mask.
But she's like, Tanjiro is like, Tanjiro, instead of being salty about it, is like, holy shit, did you see how hard that dude kicked my ass? Do you think I could get that good?
She's like, maybe.
Yeah, don't worry, kid, I'll train you.
And he basically gets trained by her for a little bit, and she more just kind of helps him perfect his techniques.
She helps him with a lot of the metaphysical aspect.
And then they explain how you basically get superhuman powers to fight demons. It's all breathing technique.
I know, just like Hamon. It's all breathing. I guess if you want superpowers, you just gotta breathe really well.
Yep, because they explain the science bullshit where when you breathe, you let in more oxygen, and your blood starts flowing more like crazy, and your muscles react.
Your muscles use that oxygen and get really hot, and then they work really hard.
And then they enlarge.
And that's how you get demon power. Well, that's how you fight demons.
And she helps train him, and he every day, I guess, or every couple of days, spars with Sabito again and gets his ass kicked, until finally
Sabito approaches him
with a real sword.
And this duel is over in like.
And Sabito even says, he's like, now you look like a man. And Tanjiro's hair's all long.
Yeah, he looks crazy. He's beat to shit. Even his clothes are like super tattered and filthy. But this duel is over in like 1 second flat. First draw,
he cuts Sabito's mask, and you see Sabito's face, and he smiles. And then it's almost like the two of them fade away into mist, and as the fog clears, he realizes the thing in front of him was the boulder.
It was the boulder the whole time.
And he cut the boulder in half.
And
I think the two of them were not living people.
No, they were spooky ghosties.
They were spirits. I think they were probably like the Tengu guys, like former students or something.
I believe so. And then they get probably killed by a demon if I had to take a wild shot in the dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get some good training. I like Tanjiro.
I do too.
He has a tendency to be like, why the fuck aren't I getting this instantly? And then people show up and are like, dude, you can't get this instantly. You gotta just train at it. And he's like, I'll train at it every day.
Yeah, even when he's asking how he gets good at the breathing technique, she tells him,
Yeah.
"Oh, keep doing it every day until you die."
Yeah.
Until you almost die.
That is literally her response.
That's the only way to do it.
Just do it all the time. Do it
all
constantly.
the time until it near kills you.
Until you're almost dead. Just do it. And he does.
There's no other way.
Yeah. I like this as a training arc because it's, even though it's shown to us in sort of a quick time lapse, the events themselves are not quick. Mm-hmm. It's not like kind of like My Hero, where it's like, hey, in a couple months I figured out what my power is, I figured out how to use it in a new way. This one's like, holy shit, I'm learning some real esoteric stuff, so I need to train every day for 2 years. Yeah. And then I can breathe really good.
Basically, we get to see him get to the point where he can actually fight
do shit.
The bad guys.
He can do shit.
And now we're probably going to have an exam arc coming up because he's got to go basically do the Demon Slayer exam.
He needs the Demon Slayer exam. Yay!
Yeah, exam arcs are always fun. You get the Hunter exams from Hunter x Hunter. You get the Chunin exams from Naruto.
Chunin exams are good as fuck.
Exams are always fun. They're like tournament arcs, but not
slightly different.
It's not always fighting. Which, you know what, that can be interesting because I like.
Let's learn some strategy.
Because Hunter x Hunter, I really enjoyed the first arc of that because it was always something different. Like the first one, have you ever watched Hunter x Hunter?
I have.
Yeah. The first one where it's literally just, hey, we're just going to keep running for like 6 hours straight and see who can keep up.
We're going to run, I think it's like, we're going to run 80 kilometers, and I'm gradually going to pick up the pace over time, so don't lose me.
It's like, all right, you guys did that? Oh, the people that are still here did that? Okay, now we're going to do it through a dangerous swamp.
But be careful, there's a lot of illusory shit in here.
Yep. And again, I'm going to keep picking up the pace, so don't lose me.
Don't lose me. It's good shit.
Because it's like, hey, we don't care if you die.
Yeah. If you die, whatever. That's not on us. You signed the waiver.
Mm-hmm.
I like this show. I expect great things from it. Good job, UFO Table. Good job.
Sorry you guys are in trouble right now for, like, tax evasion or whatever.
Yeah, if only you would pay your taxes. Please pay your taxes so we can get more good content. I've noticed that they have a really good method of... They're really good at blending CG in regular 2D style animation.
You're going to quote the Aniplex guy?
I mean, I noticed that before he said it.
Yeah, that's always been their thing.
Yeah, I just haven't said it in an official capacity.
Like, I've known that since, like, I remember watching Fate Zero. I'm like, wow. Lancelot specifically, like Berserker, is all CG, but he fits in really well.
Yeah, it's good shit.
I think it's because they do good lighting with it. Because I feel like a lot of other shows, when they do CG, it's lit so poorly that it stands out real bad.
Yeah, they don't light... They light their CG in the same way that the scene itself is lit, mm-hmm. which makes it more coherent. But anyway, we should probably move on to the adventures of Best Swim Girl.
Oh, I was just going to add on to the last thing where sometimes I feel like they light it in a different way, so it's almost meant to stand out. And it, like with Lancelot, they had like this glowing or like dark shadow effect on him, which made him like almost seem like otherworldly, like a monster. That's true.
And that's also a very good way of sort of compensating for that, because you can be like, well, we can't get it to look exactly like this scene, but we can make him look otherworldly.
Yeah, or we'll make him look so different that he stands out really hard.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, that looks completely different, but it's supposed to. Not like, these are the same things.
No, aren't these the same? They look cohesive. Thank you.
Yeah, now we can move on to Bokuben.
Yeah, Bokuben.
So Genki Girl is still best girl.
150%.
Like, I don't even care about the other two.
No.
Yeah.
Smart Girl is, or I shouldn't say Smart Girl, because, I mean, I guess they're technically both smart. But, like, Science Girl is like, Her thing is good at tips and has ramen. Works at works at udon shop. And that's kind of it. I do like her dad, though. I thought her dad was pretty funny. Basically, what is it? Midterms are coming up?
Yeah, midterms.
And the principal, the dean of students,
he's like, hey, you need to get them to at least get a average score.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing the dad in quintuplets made Futuro have to do.
Yeah. But there's, like, genuinely no bullshit around this one. He actually does it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we have freaking Ice Queen pink-haired tutor standing over his shoulder being all mean.
Because she couldn't do it, so I don't think she just wants him to succeed.
I don't want a student to succeed. I'm the tutor. But yeah, basically he does. I keep wanting to call her smart girl because she wears glasses.
That's racist.
It is. Science girl is like, I need help. Please help me study at my place of residence, which she lives above an udon shop because her family owns an udon shop.
Yeah, so she's working there, they study, and she does all right and passes.
She gets like a 71, and everyone's like, holy shit, you got a 71?
Then they have to help the other one, but she's sick. The girl who's good at literature stuff but wants to be good at science.
I can't call her English girl, so she will have to be literature girl.
Yeah. Lit girl.
She's fucking that blue. I do like the way she is drawn.
I do like that too.
I like her hair in particular because you get like those little light blue errant strands, and there's something about that appeals to me. Still not as good as Genki Girl, but that's okay. Yeah, basically she gets sick, and Genki Girl is like, hey, help me take care of her. So he does. And Science Girl is like, I can't go because I have a job at the udon shop, so take food. And he does.
And the usual sick day episode hijinks ensue.
Oh no, I walked in on a compromising situation. Oh no.
Yeah. And then he helps her, but she passes. And then the best plot of that whole episode happens after.
He doesn't even, like, help Lit Girl study. He's just like, let me help you get better. And then she does, and she does
Turns out she was good enough studying on her own.
Yeah. But then we get Genki Girl arc, which is best arc. So, basically...
The other girls in the swim club are like, wait, you still haven't told them how you feel? And she's like, no. And they're like, hey, we're going to go clothes shopping with you. Come on. And they make her buy, like, a really girly outfit. And then they take her uniform home, too. So she, like, hey, we'll bring your uniform back. So she has to walk home in the outfit they bought her.
I can't wear this in public. Don't worry. We'll take care of your uniform for you. See ya. And, of course, she runs into our main tutor boy. Because that's how plot works.
Yeah. And they end up going home. They go to the bookstore together. And then, like, some little kid's like, Mommy, look, a couple. Which is a really weird thing to point out as a kid.
Yeah, like, that's bizarre, but I don't know how Japanese children work. I don't know what's going on up there. I don't even know how American children work.
Yeah.
They're mysterious creatures.
No, I know how they work. They're just little shits.
Yeah, they don't. Get a job, you freaking 6-year-old. But she loses her mind at this. She begins fantasizing. It goes out of control. Their shoulders are touching. She's like, oh my god, I wish our shoulders would be attached so they would touch forever. Which is kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah. And then they're on the way home, and it looks like there's this competition to win some Magic Girl toy that he wants to get for his sister.
I think it's a dress.
Oh. It's some Magic Girl thing.
Yeah, it's in a big pink box, and it's obviously Magic Girl bullshit.
And it's a couples competition, so he's like, oh man, it's a couples competition, and she sees this as an opportunity. Well, we could pretend so you could get that.
Don't you like pretending?
And the competition is just who can hold their girlfriend the longest.
It is the princess. They called it the princess carrying competition, but like they weren't going anywhere. They were just It wasn't like a race. It was a test of endurance.
Yeah, and everyone's like, ugh, which honestly, that's really not good.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Japanese women should not be that difficult to like hold.
They don't even look that large. They look and these are Japanese people, so like they have
the petite body type.
They're smaller than us to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should go so we could dominate that competition.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll hold 2.
For a second, I thought it was going to be sort of a reversal because Genki Girl is the more athletic one. I thought she was going to hold him, but no, that's not what they did.
And she's super happy because he's holding her like a princess. And then after, she's sort of almost crying out of
she gets a little embarrassed.
She gets a little emotional, and he thinks she's embarrassed to be like seen with him. So he's like, "Oh, she's giving it her all, even though she hates this. I gotta give it my all too."
And he powers through it because this seems to be our main boy's superpower. He realizes that he needs to do something for someone else, so he does it.
And then they win.
His sister wants the thing, so he's like, I gotta win the thing. So they win the thing.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Genki Girl's best girl. I gotta say though, a lot of this feels like retreading of like, again, since we watched, I know this is older in terms of like the manga for this is older than Quintuplets. This came out first. But
all the tropes and stuff are still there.
Yeah, and again, because we just watched that one.
Yeah. I know what's gonna happen. I know this already. Give me some new things.
Yeah, it's fine though.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the Quintuplets,
go watch that.
Go ahead. Yeah. Well, also, if you haven't seen the Quintuplets and you'd rather just watch this, then that's fine. You're not gonna like. But if you've seen Quintuplets, it's gonna be a lot of overlapping.
Yep.
Yeah. Fairy gone?
Fairy gone?
This show, I feel like, is the definition of it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great.
It's watchable.
I
could watch this.
I don't know. I feel like just we move through things pretty quick, where I feel like a lot of other shows maybe would have, especially because this is like 24 episodes or whatever, it would have taken longer to get to like one of the main bad guys like this dude to fight him already.
Nope, he just shows up.
Yeah. Also, the cars are weird in this world where they got like almost like...
They have fucking legs.
Yeah, they have legs.
And not like under legs. They have like bug legs on the side that look like
knights,
armored
like
knight legs.
And it's weird.
It's weird. Basically, the bad guys are building artificial fairy soldiers, and they're like, we gotta put a stop to that.
Yeah, and then I think free... Actually, they barely really get into Marlia joining the military. It just kind of happens.
It happens.
I thought it would be like a whole thing, but nope. All right, you're in the military now. We're going to go on a military assignment.
I mean, she comes with her own gun. We know she's trained.
Yeah. I know she blew like a whole like 2-year stealth operation in the mafia, but whatever, she's in now.
They did show one quick scene.
Oh yeah, of her shooting, and they're like, "Man, she's a good shot."
Yeah, she shoots through the same hole twice, and I'm more interested in dual pistols, man, because he kind of. I don't know if this is actually how he looked, but my brain is like he looked kind of like Armstrong.
I didn't pay attention to him.
I paid attention to him only because I was like, we're going to meet a new interesting character, and then we didn't.
Yeah.
We see that he is very good with his akimbo pistols, and that's it.
It immediately glosses over the whole her joining it thing, and then they head out immediately to a mission.
They go to a stakeout.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing I feel about the show, where the backgrounds are really nice and really pretty.
I do like the backgrounds.
Everything else is kind of whatever. They get there and they meet 2 characters. You meet some girl whose fairy is...
It's a frog.
It's a frog. I couldn't think of enough frog songs to give it a frog name.
I didn't even try with these. I was like, I don't know.
And then this dude who's got like he's like a sniper because his fairy's like a weird bow and arrow bug thing.
It looks like a centipede that wraps around him and shoots.
And its tail is a bow and arrow.
Yeah, it shoots these huge green arrows.
Yeah. I admittedly think they're a neat combo because since he's a sniper and her thing has long range like scanning capability, she can give him like the coordinates of shit so he can easily hit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't even give them fucking stand names because it's just weird.
I don't even remember their names.
Yeah, I don't remember their names either.
Also, at one point we do learn Freeze Bakat Zamun does have an in-world name. It's like Red Hood or something like that. And I was like, oh.
Like a little Red Riding Hood.
So they're fairy tale monsters.
Oh.
Fairies.
Oh.
Fairy tales.
Okay, now I see.
Yeah, I still don't know who the fuck anyone else is, but
and then
that's a start.
Free finds out that this group of criminals, one of their leaders is this guy Wolfrun, who used to be in the military with Free, and now he's a bad guy. And then their stands fight, and they fight, and then music starts going like bam, 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 and then just shooting at each. They're swinging swords and knives at each other, and then Marlia's like, "Better stay out of that."
I don't want to get involved with that. That's fucked.
And yeah, that's the episode.
I thought Wolfran's stand. I almost actually just called it a stand. Fuck it. I think Wolfran's stand looked a lot like Vera's stand.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. That's one thing I remember from watching this is like, hey, that looks kind of like a Black Veil Brides.
I think the fairies don't have that much. They're not like as diverse as stands in terms of design.
Yeah.
Although we did get the fucking weird centipede bow and arrow bug thing.
It feels like it varies wildly. Like you could get like a handful that all look the same and some that are just super out there. Yeah. I want to know what their convention for designing these was.
And then Wolfrun's, I guess, he is a fucking edgelord because he kills all his men because he can't have them talk or whatever at the end.
Yeah, he ties up all loose ends, which means that he kills everybody, even though we don't see it, and it just kind of happens. All of a sudden, everyone is dead. Even the mafia dudes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
And that was the episode.
Yeah.
We didn't really learn too much about any characters.
That's true.
That's actually, yeah, I think that's my problem with it this early on is, like, I barely know anybody, and then it's just like, here's some cool fights.
Yeah, I would actually be okay if for, like, an episode or two, because you said this one was 24 episodes, right?
Yeah.
You got so much time.
In fact, yeah.
Slow down for a minute. Tell me who these people are.
Yeah, give me a whole character episode of them like, oh, this is a new member of the military. Learn about these military characters instead of just learn through action sequences.
I don't want to learn through action sequences. I want to learn through well-written and constructed dialogues.
Yeah.
Or flashbacks. A lot of learning was flashbacks from the first episode.
Yeah.
And then everyone just kind of shows up. And it's like, holy shit, all these people are all together. Oh, no, my God, whoa.
I'll give it a few more.
Yeah.
It's on the weaker side, though.
Yeah.
Another thing that's not super high on there for me, but it's fine. The Helpful Fox, Senko-san.
I realize that the optimal time to watch this is right before you go to bed.
Yeah, because it's comfy.
It's real comfy, cozy.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those, like, it's a wind-down show.
Yeah.
Don't start with Senko-san.
Don't start with Senko-san and move on to, like, Fairy Gone.
Don't watch Senko-san and then after, like, The Rising of the Shield Hero or something that's gonna be like, shit.
Yeah.
That's a wind-down show.
In this one, we learn a little bit more about our business boy.
Yeah. He had more plans for his life.
Turns out that didn't happen. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a part where she's cleaning his apartment, and then she looks back and sees that, like, and when she was watching him in the past, because I guess she's watched him for a while now.
Yes.
He ended up buying a bunch of dishes and stuff when he first moved in. He looked all happy, and she's like, oh, he must have thought he would be quite the host at some point.
Yeah, and that's a heartbreaking statement right there.
But instead, he gets 4 hours of sleep every night and spends all his time at work. Being a salaryman looks fucking awful.
It looks terrible.
I can see why, like, that isekai is becoming a popular genre, because it's like, what would you rather do? Work every day until you die? And hopefully when you die, something cool happens, because this is what you're going to be doing.
Or get hit by a bus and get isekai'd.
Yeah.
What about a reverse isekai? We get like a grand hero. Oh, that already happened. Shit. The devil was a part-timer.
Yeah, it's been around.
Yeah.
You ever see the He-Man movie? That was a reverse isekai where He-Man gets summoned to our world.
Man, I fucking love the He-Man movie. I watch it every day. Oh, that's good. That's a good pull right there.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, we also we get some No, it's Business Boy who has weird dream-like flashbacks.
Oh yeah, I think she cleans his ears this episode too, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I noticed that's a thing I never got because that's not exclusive to this show. There's a lot of shows that have the ear cleaning scene, and I don't really get that. It's gotta be a cultural thing.
Yeah, I don't want no one touching my fucking ears.
I feel like that's weird. I feel like over here that's not something where it's just like, you're hanging out with a girl and she's like, let me just clean your ears.
Hey man, you want me to clean your ears?
Like, I don't know, it's like a candle factory in there.
No, I'm good, thanks. I'll do that later. But she cleans his ears, and he has a weird flashback.
Yeah, he has a weird dream where I'm pretty sure, like, that's one of his ancestors.
Yeah, in a past life.
Yeah, he's like reincarnated or something, and she knew him in the past because he's like almost the same guy.
Yeah. And he was real nice to her. He was real kind.
Yeah.
Kind of like he is now, kind of, almost.
And yeah, also there's a neighbor that keeps hearing them.
I'm pretty sure she's a manga artist too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna pop up within the next 2 episodes or so.
In the intro, I believe it is.
Yeah,
there's a scene where like there's another.
She's
fox
on the
promo
material, so she's like one of them.
She's important.
Yeah,
she's gonna come in at some point.
She's gonna be like, "Hey, you guys are noisy."
You're noisy.
Even though they're not that noisy.
No, I think the noisiest was when he like jammed his fingers into her ears and she screamed, which I'd say was pretty legitimate. I gotta say I like the way he's drawn, because everything
he's drawn in a way that really tells you this guy's tired.
Yeah, everything about him is like hard lines, and he looks defeated. He looks defeated.
Yeah.
And
his eyes are really like convey the feeling too.
Good art direction.
Yeah, because I like the character designs in this.
Yeah, because it's not super pretty bullshit. It's just like we drew characters in ways that had purpose. Yeah. And it's nice to see that.
And then the episode pretty much ends with him going to sleep, and then he feels weird about making Senko sleep on the floor because he's like, am I going to get divine punishment for making a god sleep on the floor?
Holy shit, I gave a god a pillow and now she's sleeping on the floor. That's not okay. And he offers to break out one of his, I'm assuming at this point, very dusty guest futons.
And she thinks he's basically offering her to sleep in his bed.
So she does. And he's like,
He's like, isn't this a little weird? He's like, you're kind of like, you look fucking 12.
He actually repeats to himself, she's 800 years old. She's 800 years old.
And she's like, please, to me, you're the child.
She's 800 years old.
But then he falls asleep and he has a good night's sleep.
Yeah, because he's got a fluffy fox sleeping next to him, and she's all fluffy at him.
And then the show has this thing where at the end of every episode, it does like a POV thing with Senko, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't watch that because that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, where it's like you're supposed to be...
Now, it's one thing to have the fantasy vicariously through the main character, but when you do that POV shit, you're making me implicit to it, and I don't like that.
Because it's like, oh shit, now it's me.
Now it's me. It was okay when I was watching someone else go through this, but now you're involving me. That's not okay.
Yeah, I skip it too. I'm like, I'm not the only one, right? I'm pretty sure
No.
Ian skips this part too.
And the kind of
I
crappy
don't necessarily.
thing.
I skip through it because again, it's the same things that happen in the episode. Just
Yeah,
you.
just with me.
Yeah.
And I do like watching the outro. I don't really know why, because it's not like great by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But something about it just like my brain just watches it. It makes me feel good.
You know what else makes me feel good? Hitori Bochi.
Hitori Bochi is fucking
Bochi's
great.
fucking awesome.
She is the best. I love her. I love her. She's great.
Yep. So Bochi gets sick this episode.
First, because I think sick is second.
Yeah, it's second. Oh yeah, first is them hanging out at Bochi's house because she wants to ask her friend, her unfortunate friend, to go home together.
And this is not as easy as one would suspect.
Also, we said last week we were going to learn a blonde girl's name, and I think it's Nako.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. You didn't do your job.
I didn't do my job.
You explain the plot. I'm just going to verify. I'm going to make sure I'm correct.
Okay. Basically, Bochi wants to work up the courage to ask unfortunate friends to walk home with them. And this takes a lot of attempts because unfortunate girl is very popular in class.
Nako, I was right.
Cool. 10 out of 10.
And the unfortunate girl's name, I believe, is Aru.
Yeah, that's right. Because at one point, she keeps trying to address her by her last name, but everyone in the classroom is just like, Aru-chan, here's this inane bullshit I'm going to bring to you for the purposes of keeping Bochi away, but not explicitly, more for plot writing reasons. And eventually...
Nako goes and helps her. She, bops her on the head.
She's like, hey, quit ignoring Bochi. It's not cool.
Yeah, she's like, hey, unfortunate girl. And every time Aru's response is to, headbutt her full force.
Yeah, literally every time.
Yeah. She throws her entire body because she's basically lying parallel as she goes for, the hit.
Yeah, she goes full force pit. And Nako does not even she does not even flinch at this because Nako is, quote-unquote, the delinquent.
Yeah.
Because everyone is terrified of her.
Especially the teacher.
And I think that's the funniest shit of all time.
And, Aru, even later in the episode, she's like, Nako's talking to Aru, she's like, am I scary? And she basically says, well, you got resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Not in those words, but yeah.
Yeah. But they arrange to go to, Aru says yes, instantly. She's like, yeah, of course I'll walk home with you guys.
And as they're walking home, Aru and Nako are kind of bickering with each other, and Bochi gets real sad thinking her friends hate each other.
For a while, though, she's really oblivious to it, and that's great. She's so excited.
She's like, you guys get along so well. And they're like, no, we don't. And she's like, you guys don't?
I'm the only one having fun? And I was like, oh, no. No, don't cry, Bochi. Don't cry.
And then in the next part, Bochi invites them both to come over her house.
But Aru has tennis practice, which we learn later she doesn't even like tennis.
Yeah.
Because she's the unfortunate girl.
And so Nako's the only one that goes. And Bochi answers the door in a bear suit.
I love how this one starts because it starts with Bochi in her room in her pajamas, and she's like, they're not coming. They're so late.
It's barely a minute.
I knew they were going to abandon me. And she goes down and greets Nako in a bear suit. And Nako's like, it's almost 1 minute after the time I agreed to come over here. Chill out.
And she's like, why are you wearing that? It's my serious clothing. And she's like, we're going to go clothes shopping at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to take you clothes shopping because that's not okay. And they hang out in Bochi's house. And Bochi tries to be a good hostess.
And then Bochi gets sick.
Yeah.
And so she's not at school the next day, and Nako's sitting there, and she's like, in her mind, she's talking to Aru, and she pictures what's probably going through Bochi's head right now, where
Forget it. Oh,
Yeah, Nako, and this is not Bochi's scenario that she comes with. This is what Nako comes up with. She's probably thinking right now that we're going to make a whole new friend without her, and this girl's like, hey, I'm friends with everybody except you.
oh yeah, it's super easy to be friends with everybody, but not you. Yeah, oh, it's so fucking good.
And then after Aru's like, I doubt she thinks that, and then she gets a text on her phone that's like, This is Bochi, Hattori Bochi. I'm in the same class as you.
Don't forget me.
We went home together the other day.
She spends this segment basically texting them stuff like, please don't forget about me.
Yeah.
I'm still are we still friends?
And I love how they go to her house after to drop off her schoolwork.
Oh, first they need to get it from the teacher.
And the teacher basically treats the whole thing like she's being shaken down by Nako.
She is so freaked out over this incident. She's like, that's it. I can't be a teacher.
She pulls open her drawer and she has a resignation right there ready to go.
It's time. And then Nako shows up and is like, hey, can we get the notes? Or, hey, we have Bochi's homework book from yesterday, so I'm giving that to you. And she freaks out. She's like, oh my god. Oh, yes, please. Thank you very much. And don't call me senpai. Just call me.
Don't call me sensei. It's
yeah, don't call me sensei.
And she's like, it's not right that I make you call me sensei. And she's like, no, that's completely normal.
That's how it should be, sensei. And then she shakes her down brutally for the homework or the printouts of the notes.
Yep. And then she gets them and brings them back to Bochi, and Bochi answers the door. And she's like, did you guys forget about me? She's like, and then Nako's like, what are you talking about? This is the first time we've met.
The greatest response.
And then Aru kind of like punches her in the head for it.
Hey, stop that.
And then they're like, why is she wearing that? She's like, oh, this is her serious outfit?
That's her, yeah. I love her serious outfit. It's basically a big bulky bear onesie. And it's great.
Yeah. Good shit.
Man, I love this
is
show.
Another wind down show.
It's a great wind down show. It's just a joy. It's just a joy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a Koto Club, shall we?
Yeah, we got 2 episodes we got to talk about.
Yeah. We meet a lot of side characters.
Yeah. So the one we missed from last week, we are introduced to the female group member.
Yes, the Koto Prodigy.
Yeah, and at first she talks about wanting to join the club. She approaches the club room and they're like, hey, this girl seems really nice and she's really great. And she's like, oh, I'm so honored to be in the club with you guys. And she's like, anyway, I thought there were a bunch of girls in this club too. And he's like, actually, it's just me and this guy.
Yeah, all the girls graduated.
And she's like, oh, cool, I don't have to put in an act then anymore.
Yep. Total tonal shift,
yeah.
180.
She's like, I just didn't know I was stuck in here with these 2 idiots. And they're like, whoa, your personality completely changed. And she's like, yeah, if I was in a club with a bunch of girls, they would think I was a conceited bitch.
Yeah, I don't care if you guys think that. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm the best, and you guys suck.
Yeah, that's her.
I'm gonna drag your ass to nationals.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. Just get in my backpack, and I'll carry you guys to nationals.
Naturally, Kudo doesn't like this.
I just want to say beforehand, I fucking love Kudo, and these 2 episodes we watched recently highlighted that for me.
He's a good boy. He's like Bakugo if Bakugo wasn't a fucking shithead.
Yeah, he's good boy Bakugo.
Yeah.
He even has a lot of like the same style to him as well. Naturally, he does not get along with stuck-up girl, prodigy girl, and they clash a lot.
And Kudo's method of solving things, because she basically tells Kudo she doesn't believe he's serious, and Kudo's solution is to basically go to the principal and have all the Kodos removed from the class, or the Kodos removed from the classroom and taken to a repair shop.
But since Kudo is Kudo, he's not going to tell anyone he's doing this. He's going to do it.
He goes every day and tries to work on repairing them.
And I like this because the woman who owns we learn this later when both our main characters find out as well. the woman who runs the repair shop doesn't let him in at first because she's like, I'm not going to let some shitty delinquent work on these beautiful instruments. But he sits outside the store daily for hours without eating. And eventually she's like, fine, you can help me. And he does. So that's what he's been doing.
And main character and stuck-up girl catch him doing this. And then after she kind of realizes he's serious about it.
Oh, shit.
And then the two of them agree to help out.
And they do. And they fix up all the Kotos.
Episode 3 time.
We meet the boys.
The boys.
The boys.
The dumb boys.
I fucking love these guys.
These are friends of Kudo.
Fellow delinquents.
Yep, who all end up getting tricked into joining the Koto Club by Stuck-Up Girl, because she puts on her fake personality around them.
Oh man, Koto Club is gonna get disbanded if we don't get more members by the end of the month. Oh no. Don't worry, we'll be the saviors of Koto Club. Ah, so good.
And then they join.
And they join with no intention of playing Koto.
And the girl was fine with this. She just wanted them to have their names on there.
Yeah.
But the vice principal has a thing against Kudo.
I've noticed this season that it seems like from the shows we've picked, there's kind of the trope of we got the good principal, and then like slight principal Grima worm tongue subordinate who's trying to fuck stuff up. Because we also have that in We Never Learn.
Yeah.
But anyway.
To be honest, I don't even think she's going to be like a bad guy for that long, and We Never Learn. She's probably going to join the harem.
Probably.
Because you got to have a teacher in there now. That's a new staple. You got to have, it's like, oh, you have little sister character, you have childhood friend, you have
smart girl.
You have smart girl, and then now you got to have teacher.
Yeah. Basically the vice principal shows up and is like, I caught you guys playing cards. If you have by the end of the week, and if you don't give a performance that is satisfactory to me, I will disband your club. And everyone's like, oh shit.
And then Stuck-Up Girl comes in, but she's kind of sways him, and she says, actually, how about you give us a month? Because we can play anything in a week, but I doubt that would satisfy you. So let us do a performance in front of the school in 1 month, and if you're not satisfied, you can cancel us then. And she does this because she knows no matter what they presented to him, he would not like it anyway.
Yeah,
but if they put on a show in front of the whole school, and everyone likes it, he can't really argue it.
Yeah. So he agrees because, I don't know, he does. That's his plot.
And after the delinquent dudes hear the principal talking about how he doesn't like Kudo and he just wants to get him kicked out of the school, the other delinquents, it kind of shows a flashback where Kudo kind of saved them for a guy on the street that they bumped shoulders with that took it to the level of wanting to stab them.
Yeah, they bumped shoulders.
I'm assuming he was like Yakuza or something.
I don't know. I think he was just like a shitty high schooler or something. I don't know. But basically, these dudes are friends with Kudo's best friend.
Yeah.
Which I also love this dude as well. This dude's a super bro. They're friends with him, and they're like, why do you hang out with Kudo all the time? And the dude's just like, I've known him since elementary school. He's a cool guy.
And then they're like, yeah, well, we don't like him. And then they
we don't like him.
And then they get attacked by those high school dudes. And then Kudo comes by and beats the shit out of all of them. They're like, why would you do that for us? And he's like, you guys are friends with my friend. If something happened to you guys, he'd be sad. And they're like, what a cool dude.
Kudo is the best boy.
And then they all decide this is their chance to pay him back for that. It shows them smash their piggy banks. And they go and they get the finger things. Yeah,
they go by the finger planchettes. But
yeah.
The thing I love about when Kudo just shows up is the dude is about to stab. There's a guy with, like, I think he's got, like, black hair with a headband. And the bad high school delinquent is about to stab him. Kudo shows up out of fucking nowhere, grabs the blade of the knife with his bare hand, and is like, hey, don't do that. I'm going to kick the shit out of you now.
And he does.
And he does. But yeah, they buy their little finger planchette things, and they're like, we're going to learn how to play the koto.
And then at the end of the episode, or throughout the rest of the episode, Stuck-Up Girl's trying to get everyone to practice, but she's really hard on everybody.
And they're
not into it.
Yeah, they're not good.
Her teaching style is very also harsh.
Yeah.
And she kind of says some mean shit to Kudo. And then after he leaves, he ends up talking the next day with his best friend guy. And the best friend guy's like, I wonder if she was trained in, like, the Spartan style. Because think about it. People teach normally how they were taught.
I love the scenes where Kudo talks with this dude. Because it's like, he's dumb. But this dude's real smart. And I think he realizes he's got a good heart to him.
And Kudo actually makes... So the Stuck-Up Girl's walking by, and she hears outside him talking to the other delinquents, and he's like, guys, take these. And they're like, you made those? And he's like, yeah, I want to leave that Stuck-Up Girl speechless. And then she thinks they're doing, like, a prank on her.
Oh, I knew these delinquents, they were gonna freaking prank me.
And then she looks out and she sees he made a bunch of cardboard kotos to practice on.
Practice kotos with the numbered strings. And she's like, oh, shit. He actually does like it.
And then she realizes he's an alright guy.
Yeah.
And now I ship it.
I ship it super hard.
Yeah, I don't care about main character, dude.
You know what?
Kudo is my main character.
Main character kid is probably the weakest character out of the entire cast. He is more of a method of bringing these kooky, interesting people together, and I'm okay with that. But
I feel like that too, because I feel like the opening theme song almost puts Kudo at the center.
Yeah.
Where, like, it opens on him, and, like, he's in the middle of the group.
It wouldn't surprise me, actually, if he was really the main character. Because a lot of the stuff in this series sort of revolves around him and the things he does. It's just...
Also, he has a way more... Yeah, everything's more connected to him, whereas the other guy's backstory is just... I didn't really have anything I was doing, and then I saw these girls playing Kodo, so I joined, and we had a good time, and now they're gone.
Yeah. And now I'm the only one left, so I gotta carry on.
And then all the people I invited are a bunch of weirdos.
Come sail away, come sail away,
come sail away with me.
Get it? 'Cause they gotta carry on.
Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
No. Boom, down, 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 boom, down, down, boom, bam, bam.
You're welcome.
Bam. Oh, what a treat for the ears. I too love the show Supernatural.
Midnight Occult Civil Servants.
We meet the cat. We meet a large cat.
Yep. So I gotta start watching this later in the week.
Yeah.
Comes out tomorrow,
Me
so
too.
like the day after we record.
We
meet the bad guy this episode.
Yeah.
Who is
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a dude with black. It's some other mythological figure, and he looks Egyptian to me.
Yeah.
But basically, he's going around and fucking stuff up for the Anothers.
And he knows who the main character is the reincarnation of or whatever.
And
because he's like, hey, it's been a long time since we've seen each other.
Hey!
I made all these zombies to kill you.
Huh? It'll be just like old times. I don't know what old times you've had, but that doesn't seem too fun to me. Yeah, it's... And, because they're trying to figure out who Abe no Seimei is.
Yeah.
Which... I can't remember the names of characters I liked. I don't know why this one name sticks with me so much.
Abe no Seimei?
Abe no Seimei.
Probably because it's a weird name.
Yeah, I like the name, period. I enjoy it. But they want to learn who he is, so in order to do that, they dig through an old shed. Turns out, a Neko spirit.
Yeah, there's a cat guardian spirit that one of his ancestors told to stay there and watch all the shit.
guard my shit. And then
he's been there for like hundreds of years.
And for the last like at least 20 years or so, he's been locked in that shed by himself.
Yeah.
We learn that the main character is negligent with pets. Because basically they seal it up, and then they're like, all right, that's fine. We don't gotta worry about that no more.
And in this episode, you meet their boss, too.
Yeah, he is a person. I think he's a sleepy man. I think that's his thing.
I forget a lot about him. I just know, I think he's voiced by Karna.
I like Karna.
Yeah.
It's a shame I can never fucking roll him, but you know what? That doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Karna missed his window. Now it's all about the Avengers, not about the Lancers.
I got both of them. Or I got like 3 of them.
I rolled for all of them at least 3 times each, and I haven't got any of them. But that's fine.
I got like all of them besides Gorgon.
Long as I got Merlin and me. I also got Tamamamo, so I can Arts Meme Dream Team.
Yeah, but you need... Oh, wait, you have a Squirtoria.
I do.
Anyway, that's not about what this is about.
Yeah, that's highly irrelevant.
So, yep, this was our FGO segment. We're moving on to the next show.
Robbie Hachi.
To close out on this one, basically in this episode, they're investigating stuff to try to figure out more about who Abe no Seme is, and then they're investigating a summoning circle in the woods, or in the park.
And they meet...
and also
we learn our main character's a fucking dumbass.
Where they're all looking at it, he's like, huh? He's like, that's pretty weird. And he's in the host club dude's like, wait, don't touch that. And he tries to stop him, and then they both teleport away. And then pretty choker dude's just sitting there like, well, shit.
They are now presumed dead.
He's like,
Great.
Well, that could have gone anywhere.
They basically get teleported into
underground.
This underneath this shrine. And they meet the main bad guy, and the main bad guy's like, "Hey, I know you. Here's zombies."
And he's also just a pretty dude because that's like that's kind of how this show's rolling.
It's the thing.
Yeah, this show is intended for hey, it's not explicitly stated, but if you were going to make your own fan art of this, maybe you might want to throw in some yaoi undertones. Maybe. But yeah, so this guy shows up, this weird floating Egyptian-looking motherfucker. But he's probably Japanese.
Probably, but yeah. I think it would be interesting if he was Egyptian.
This Egyptian-looking motherfucker shows up, and he's like, "Hey, Abe, it's been a long time since we saw each other. Anyway, I made a bunch of zombies, and they're here to kill you. It'll be great."
Yeah, congratulations. Have fun. Okay, bye.
And then a bunch of zombies attack him, and that's where it ends.
Yeah. To bring this back to Fate Go, because I thought of this while I was watching the episode, our main villain looks like a gayer version of Ozymandias, which is real hard.
Yeah. Although Ozzy's mostly just a pretty boy. Ozzy doesn't look like super gay.
That's true, but he is a shirtless pretty boy who is, yeah. But anyway, Robbie Hachi is real fucking good.
Robbie Hachi is great.
This show is amazing.
It's exactly what I want. Just going planet to planet having stupid shenanigans.
Yeah. Basically, it kicks off exactly where the first episode left off.
Where they're in their robot together, and the first thing they do is start arguing, where he's like, "Lower half, what do we do?"
Don't call me lower half, upper half.
Come on, the upper half's more important.
But if you didn't have the lower half, you wouldn't even be able to stand.
Yeah, but the upper half has the brain, and that's what controls the legs.
And then Bunny Robot Butler is like,
It literally doesn't matter who's the upper half or the lower half.
Yeah, just fucking...
Get us out of the tractor beam.
Do something. Stop arguing, you idiots.
And they're like, what does this button do? And they're like, I don't know, let's try it. And the chest area on the robot starts glowing, and then Yan and his group are like, oh, it looks like the robot's about to fire some awesome weapon. And
we gotta escape.
We'll never make it out of it the way in time. And then they start trying to fly away.
And then it flashes in this great light.
And every single person, it cuts to everyone's face, and they're like, oh!
And that's it.
Nothing.
It is bright.
But they use the opportunity to fly back to the ship and jump into hyperspace.
Yeah. And then they run out of gas.
And then you find out Robbie got the ship from his dad. He just stole it.
Okay, I have a fan theory about this, but I'll get to it in a little bit. Basically, they find tapes of an old what's it called? Reisekrieger or whatever. What's the fucking robot called?
I don't remember what the robot's called.
The Heesekrieger.
Yeah, Heesekrieger.
They find an old anime, like a 50s anime for the Heesekrieger, and they're like, hey, that's this robot. I don't know, man. I just stole the thing from the shed, and then I parked it on the roof for 10 years while it was under construction. I think his dad is like was a major otaku and used his wealth to build it.
Either that or it was a real thing and it was his at the time.
Yeah, I like both of these.
But yeah, so they have to refuel on Mars, and at first they're arguing. They're like, oh yeah, we should stop at Mars. It's full of octopus people. And then Hachi's like, dude, that's bullshit. That's not a real thing.
There's no such thing as octopus people.
And then they get to Mars and boom, octopus
There's
people.
fucking octopus people everywhere. Selling takoyaki.
Yeah, which is octopus for those who didn't know. So they were even saying, like, are they cannibals?
Meanwhile, while our heroes are exploring the tourism of Mars, our villains, I love this, because Yan is like...
He actually predicts where they were going to go.
He's like... he pulls it together with like some real bullshit history stuff where he's like, fugitives in Hokkaido would flee to the north of Japan.
Fugitives in Japan would flee to Hokkaido because
because
it was the northernmost point that they could go.
That means they would go to the farthest place they could imagine. But now we've got the galaxy to contend with.
And they're like, what's the furthest place in the universe? And they mention some planet, and they're like, it has a bunch of hot springs there. And he's like, well, I suppose we could stop at the hot springs first, and then I will have you, Robbie.
I want to clean myself of dirt before capturing you, Robbie.
And so then they go past them.
And like anytime we cut back to them, they're just like talking about, now, Robbie, you're within our grasp, but first we'll rest at the hot springs.
And then, meanwhile, on Mars, so Robbie and Hachi go to a bar to hang out with the octopus women because they're flirting with Robbie.
Because of course they are.
Yep, and Hachi's doesn't really care, so he goes to the bathroom, and
Hachi is underage.
Yeah.
Even though he looks about the same age as Robbie does to me.
But he stumbles upon a terrible secret. As he walks by one of the dressing rooms, he sees a person take off their, like an octopus person, take off their head, and there's just a regular person inside.
Turns out the Martians are just fucking people.
And he's arrested for this and taken to a prison out in the middle of nowhere. And where a normal person would be like, this is awful, Hachi's like, this is amazing!
This is the greatest thing that could have possibly happened.
And the guard's like looking at him all confused. He's like, think about it. I got arrested. I'm in a place I don't know out in the middle of nowhere. This never would have happened if I lived a normal, conventional life.
And the guard just kind of looks at him. He's like, what the fuck?
This guy's weird.
This dude is bizarre.
Because Hachi is just so fucking excited about this.
I love Hachi because he seems like the more analytical type, but then as soon as something really wacky happens, he's like, yo, this is the greatest thing ever. I love this.
He gets off on chaos.
It's great.
And then Robbie discovers the secret because he sees one of the girls take off her costume because she's getting too sick of being in it.
Because apparently the suits are real hot.
And she explains to him that the whole thing with Mars is actually just based off of tourism to get Earthlings to go there and think that they're octopuses.
Because the first encounter between humans and Martians was before the planet was terraformed.
And Martians had to wear these big suits that kind of looked octopus-like in order to survive the harsh conditions.
So humans were like, holy shit, there's octopus people. And they just kind of went with it.
And they're like, yeah, okay, let's just make it our selling point. But it hasn't been popular. And he sees on TV, Hachi gets a pardon if he appears on a TV show. And they're like, hey, Earthling, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm here on Mars. And you can see Hachi reading cue cards. Yeah. I'm just really excited to have the takoyaki here.
I came for the takoyaki. And even Robbie's like, if they're going to have him read off a cue cards, he could at least try.
And then they basically fly in with the Heiserkrieger.
Yeah, the Hizukrieger.
The Hizukrieger. And Hachi even, like, he's like, oh, you can pilot that without me. And it's just glanced over real quick. And Robbie shows up and he explains, and his daughter takes off her thing. And she's like,
on
no.
live TV.
She's like, no, Dad, it's time we end the facade. And he's just like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, it's too late. It's already on live TV. And Robbie has this moment where he's talking to the mayor, and he's like, it's all right.
It's so good.
It's like made to be like this really heart-touching moment. He's like, just be yourself.
Maybe it's time you put down the masks.
Be the real you.
And be the real you.
And the guy's like, I can do it. And he's like, I believe in you. He's like, but I'm scared. And he's like, it's all right.
It's always scary, but it's okay.
And he finally takes it off, and he's just this regular looking, like, you know...
He's just a regular man.
He's just a regular man. He's just... After he takes it off, there's just this glow of just happiness in his face, and he just says, it doesn't feel cold.
Oh my god.
And then finally it cuts back to Yan and his group, and they're about to enter the planet's atmosphere, and they're like... And he's like, hold on. He's like, boss, I have some big news. Martians aren't octopuses.
What? Put the article on the main screen. This is huge, because that means they were never they were never octopus people.
And then he's just like, no, there's an even bigger story here. Look in the back. He's like, there you are, Robbie, because they're in the background of the article.
All right, guys, turn it around. We're going to Mars.
So they're gonna go to Mars, but Robbie and Hachi already left Mars.
I love it. I love it. It's great.
And the ending theme for this show is Yan's group singing.
Ah, it's so good. The ED is so good for this show. This show is great.
I fucking love the voice actor for Yan, because he voices some characters and some other stuff I like. I know you didn't watch Boarding School Juliet, but he voices the rival character in that, where he's like another like rough dude. I think his name's like Maru, but he's great in that too.
I love how much of like a Bond villain this dude is. Like, he's so just...
Actually, he feels more like a cartoon villain.
Yeah, he feels like a Gatai villain.
Yeah,
because their uniforms are like half pink and half purple, and he's got
his ship looks like something that would be like in like 80s like toy.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's just a giant fish, like a goldfish thing.
It's so good. This show is great.
I think this is my next favorite next to Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I agree. Those two are definitely like...
Those are the top tiers.
They're the tippity top of the tiers. Top Gun from the top. Oh.
Good shit.
Well,
some good shit, some okay shit. Nothing's bad.
Yeah.
But at worst, I'd say like... Surprisingly, even though the Helpful Fox Senko-san is actually fun to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's got it going for it.
It's good conversation fodder.
Fairy Gone and Bokuban, I feel like, are the least fun to talk about, just because we've seen everything in Bokuban, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Fairy Gone is just...
Action.
Yeah.
Action. You can't... Action is cool to watch, but it doesn't really make good conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to banter off of, like, and then he hit him real hard.
And then after he had this thing, he was getting shot at by the guy with the centipede thing, and then his stand has a bunch of, like, bones and stuff, and he's, like, trying to stab it free, and Free's, like, you know, dual-wielding swords, and it's like...
Each one fought each other's stand. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever.
But that was this week's episode.
I'll give Fairy Gone till like around episode 5, and if I'm still not enjoying it, then it's gonna be Fairy Gone.
I think that's fair. Not the pun. Pun is not fair. Yeah. But I think the sentiment behind it is...
Because I'll give it more than 3. Because I'm like, who knows? Maybe it's just gotta take a little bit.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to pull people in with action, and then later they'll slow it down and be like, all right, now...
Imagine it just never slows down.
that would probably get pretty boring, to be honest.
Also, the action I noticed too, it doesn't really you don't really get a story through the action.
No.
Because, for example, JoJo is pretty much all just action for the most part, but you get a lot, you learn about the characters through the fights.
Yeah, because you learn about how people act in the fights, you learn about how they think, you learn about people, like, decoding how everyone else thinks.
You just get cool visual effects in this.
Yeah, they slap at each other.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. So that was this week's episode.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed, feel free to drop the video a like, give us a comment, tell us what your best girl is. If it's not Genki Girl, then sorry, but you're wrong.
Unless you pick, like, your best girl isn't even from Bokuben, it's like Bochi or Nako, then you know what?
I'd be okay with either
respectable
one of
choice.
those. Yeah, those are both good. Subscribe to our channel to get updates on when we upload various videos.
Or check out our Twitter at Protagonist Seat, because we also update there as well.
Oui. You put out an impressions video.
Yeah, I put out an impressions video of the current season. Not everything's on there. A couple of things. Yeah, you didn't watch After Lost because I told you I didn't like it.
Yeah, and I saw a chase scene that was in bad CG at 30 frames per second.
No, I mentioned it in the video, but, like, I'm not as articulate in the video as I am here because, I haven't made that many videos like that. But
takes time.
It's not good.
It's bad.
The episode, it's got, like, the problem with Fairygon's whole first episode was action, but, it was still at least entertaining.
And there was still a little bit of story.
Yeah, I had some context, at least, for shit. With, like, oh, these people are guarding this item, and then the item's getting stolen.
And there's a civil war.
It's just, all right, it opens, black hole opens up, everyone gets sucked in, this girl's now was the only person there, and now she's in a lab, and now this guy busts in, he's like, come with me if you want to live. Everyone's shooting at each other, and there's, like, explosion. There's this monk dude on the highway, and then all the cards are CG, and it looks ugly. And then after, they gotta go to where Made in Abyss happen in the middle of the city. I don't know.
But anyway, we won't give that any more time, and we won't take up any more of your time.
Yeah. We're just gonna fuck off.
Yeah, see ya.
We're gonna fuck off and watch more anime.
Yeah, because we pimped our shit.
We didn't take it on here, but, fuck, I forgot how you say the name. Sarazamni or Sarazam?
Oh, Sarazanmai.
Sarazanmai? Yeah, we didn't pick that show, but surprisingly, really interesting shit. I liked Moraru Penguin Drum, and I see the same style in this. It's weird. Like, it's real fucking weird. Like, the second episode had this scene where it was explaining what the bad guy in the first episode did, and this guy that ended up dead because he became he was obsessed with cats and stuff, and they're like, we found his body in the river, and we don't know how it happened. And then two of the cops get up in this room full of cops. I'm assuming this isn't them actually doing it, but they both go, that was me. And me. And then they break into a musical number of them singing about, like, desire and stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's worth at least, a look.
Yeah.
So check out that one. Because I wish we took that one.
Well, maybe we can do a little swap at one point.
Maybe we can swap. It's the Wild West out here. We can change anything we want.
I mean, we're only in our third season, so, like...
We can be in our 500th season, and I feel like we could still be like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We are beholden to no one's rules.
That's a good point. We aren't even beholden to our own rules.
Exactly.
We don't have rules.
What if we just decide to be like, hey, let's put a backlog show on here?
Yeah, so I started watching Madoka Magica.
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this show, but we're going to, talk about that one.
So I recently started Mushishi.
Although, we'll probably stop here, because we've gone for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, we've done a lot of post-riffing today.
Yeah. Sorry about that. See you later.
Bye.